This is Part 2, Episode 74. The four of them slowly flew across the outer part of the Sea of Devils, until they arrived at the fighting evil sect near Nan-do City. Before them was a giant mountain. The top of the mountain had been carved into the head of a dragon by someone. From above, it looked like a giant dragon coiling around the mountain. However, the dragon was a mess right now. Not only were there parts of the dragon missing, but the head of the dragon had been split in half by someone. Li Muwen looked at the dragon from the distance and silently pondered. Wang Lin secretly sighed. When he scanned the area before, he found that the fighting evil sect was no more. There were no longer any cultivators remaining. Instead, it was filled with some low-ranking demonic beasts. Li Muwen whispered, "Wang Lin, do you still remember back then when you brought me all the way here?" Wang Lin nodded and said, "Time passes and people change." Li Muwen turned toward where the cave they once lived in used to be and said, "I wonder if the cave from back then still exists." Wang Lin let out a faint smile, and wrapped his arm around Li Muwen's waist. Both of them disappeared in a ray of light. Lu Fei and Tai Yang quickly followed them with their divine senses spread out. After all, this was the Sea of Devils, not Chu. Far behind Wang Lin and Li Muwen, Lu Fei sighed. It seems the rumor that Elder Li lived in the Sea of Devils for a while was true. Tai Yang replied, "Maybe this is how Sectmaster and Elder Li met." "Brother Lu, it seems like your cultivation has improved a bit." Lu Fei smiled. "I can only get about 1,000 feet closer to the pagoda. I'm still very far." Tai Yang remained silent. He had only gone 500 feet closer. He decided that after returning, he would work even harder. Wang Lin flew at supersonic speeds while holding Li Muwen. The sonic booms he created traveled very far, shocking all the cultivators that heard it. Not long after, Wang Lin and Li Muwen arrived at where the cave was. However, the mountain the cave was in had completely disappeared. Time passes, people change. Li Muwen's eyes dimmed. In only a few hundred years, the dragon formation was destroyed, the cave disappeared, the memories of the past faded with time, the deathly aura around Li Muwen suddenly became stronger. She bit her lower lip and said, "I don't want to go to Hufen anymore. After we buy the pill recipes, let us go home." Lu Fei and Tai Yang stood behind them. They both secretly sighed and remained silent. Wang Lin stared at Li Muwen and whispered, "The cave didn't disappear." With that, he waved his right hand and the power of a soul formation cultivator spread out. Thunderous roars echoed in the sky and the ground suddenly cracked open. Shortly after, a powerful force rose from underground, causing the ground to crack even more. A bump appeared on the ground, and it grew larger and larger. In the blink of an eye, a mountain appeared. This mountain looked exactly the same as the one they lived in back then. The creation of this mountain made the ground shake violently. Everyone within 10,000 kilometers felt this shaking, alerting every cultivator in the area. Some of the self-proclaimed powerful cultivators all flew toward the center of the shaking. More and more cultivators gradually arrived, only they didn't dare to get close. They stared at it from 10,000 feet away in terror. Wang Lin pointed at the mountain, and a cave suddenly appeared in its center. After a bit of manipulation by Wang Lin, the cave was exactly the same as the one from back then. The cave didn't disappear. Wang Lin turned around and looked at Li Muwen. Li Muwen stared at the cave and let out a smile. This smile made the deathly aura around her regress a bit. Inside the cave, Li Muwen was like a happy little girl looking here and there. She would often grab Wang Lin and speak of the past. Li Muwen laughed. "I waited for you for 3 years back then. I didn't expect there to be a group of people chasing you when you returned. Also, back then when you returned, you were carrying a dragon with you." "A dragon? I have always wanted to ask how you got it, but back then you were so cold that I was too scared to ask." Li Muwen tenderly looked at Wang Lin. Wang Lin rubbed his nose. He silently smiled. After staying in the cave for 3 days, Li Muwen reluctantly left. Wang Lin took Li Muwen and they flew toward Devil Rebel City. This trip to the Sea of Devils made Wang Lin happy. The deathly aura on Li Muwen had definitely regressed. Using the ancient transfer arrays, they appeared before Devil Rebel City after 8 days of travel. After paying a few spirit stones to enter, Lu Fei quickly found an inn for the 4 of them. Tai Yang had traveled through the Sea of Devils when he was young, so he was much more experienced than Lu Fei. Wang Lin ordered Tai Yang to go to the treasure refining pavilion, and he returned with an invitation. Sect Master, the auction is in 7 days. This is the invitation. Tai Yang respectfully handed the invitation to Wang Lin. Wang Lin and Li Muwen explored Devil Rebel City throughout these 7 days. Li Muwen felt very happy in those few days. In fact, aside from back during the worry-free days when she was still at the Luhi sect, this was the happiest she had ever been. After 7 days, the auction that was held every 10 years by the treasure refining pavilion started. Inside the largest 3-story pagoda in Devil Rebel City, countless cultivators sat in the first floor. When Wang Lin's group arrived, 2 Foundation establishment disciples of the treasure refining pavilion accepted the invitation and lead them inside to the Great Hall. The middle-aged man, who previously sold the recipe to Wang Lin, was also in the Great Hall. He was casually talking to a few cultivators he was familiar with, but his expression slightly changed when he spotted Wang Lin. He quickly said goodbye to his friends and walked toward Wang Lin. He stopped 3 feet before Wang Lin, bowed, and respectfully said, "I'm honored that Senior would come. Senior, this place is messy, let us go to the 3rd floor." The surrounding cultivators that knew the middle-aged man were shocked. This person had a very high position in the treasure refining pavilion and a bright future ahead of him. He almost never talked like this to anyone, making this a rare sight. Everyone's gazes turned toward Wang Lin. Everyone was shocked when they inspected Wang Lin. In their eyes, Wang Lin looked like a mortal without any spiritual energy, but how could he be a mortal if he could come here? As for Li Muwen, who was next to Wang Lin, she was a late-stage core formation cultivator with a weak body. What shocked everyone the most were Lu Fei and Tai Yang. Late-stage nascent soul cultivators. Even inside the Sea of Devils, late-stage nascent soul cultivators were rare. In the Great Hall right now, less than 5 people had reached this cultivation level. No matter where in the Sea of Devils, these were the kinds of people that could cause an earthquake with just a simple stomp of their feet. The appearance of these 2 normally wouldn't be such a big deal, but from where they stood, it seemed like they were the servants of a mortal. How could everyone not be shocked by this? Adding on the respectful attitude of the middle-aged man, this person's status skyrocketed in people's hearts. Under the middle-aged man's careful guidance, Wang Lin's group went up to the 3rd floor. The entire 3rd floor only had 3 rooms, and each of them was very luxurious. 2 of them were already occupied. Wang Lin's group entered the room on the right. The middle-aged man accompanied them for a while, but after seeing a trace of impatience on Wang Lin's face, he quickly left. When he walked out of the room, his back was covered in sweat. He took a deep breath and then quickly left. After Wang Lin left the treasure refining pavilion that day, he asked the old man about Wang Lin. That old man was a late-stage nascent soul cultivator, but he cowered after just one look from Wang Lin. A cultivator like this had to have reached the legendary soul formation stage. The middle-aged man couldn't think of another reason the old would cower like that. Soul formation cultivators were an existence that no one dared to mess with in the Sea of Devils. The reason the treasure refining pavilion was able to take root and grow in the Sea of Devils was because they had a soul formation cultivator. This was why when he saw Wang Lin today, he was willing to act humbly. After all, his status meant nothing before someone like this. He quickly went downstairs and stopped outside a room on the 2nd floor. He said, in a low voice, "Disciple Shuluo has an urgent message to pass on to Ancestor." A feminine and charming voice said, from inside the room, "Come inside." The middle-aged man took a deep breath and quickly walked inside. After a very long time, the middle-aged man walked out. His expression had returned to normal and he returned downstairs to talk with the cultivators he was familiar with again. All of those people kept on trying to get information on Wang Lin, but the middle-aged man just dodged the questions. At this moment, 10,000 kilometers outside of Devil Rebel City, in an underground cave, sat an old man. This old man was busy cultivating, when he suddenly opened his eyes and pointed at the air. An image formed before him and a very beautiful girl appeared in the image. This girl was extremely beautiful. There was a hint of a very special kind of beauty to her, and her eyes were very charming. The girl respectfully said a few things, before saying her goodbyes and disappearing. A suspicious soul formation cultivator. The old man's eyes lit up and then he suddenly disappeared. This person was the one that Wang Lin met, when he was only a core formation cultivator, and also the same person he met when he went to the chaotic broken stars the second time. It was the cultivator, with the turtle disciples of the treasure refining pavilion brought fruit especially produced in the Sea of Devils to the room on the 3rd floor, but no one touched them. When sitting in this room, one only needed to look down to see the giant stage where the auction will take place. Wang Lin and Li Muwen quietly chatted with each other. Li Muwen would occasionally smile, revealing a look of tenderness and satisfaction. Lu Fei and Tai Tan sat cross-legged at the door, both cultivating. At some point, Wang Lin gave the two of them some pointers, inspiring them to cultivate even more enthusiastically. They had been cultivating almost the entire time they had been here. According to Wang Lin, only after sorting out all the chaos in their spiritual energy, could they start comprehending the soul formation stage. Although the two of them had been late-stage nascent soul cultivators for a long time, they still hadn't reached the peak of the late stage of nascent soul. Unless they gained some special understanding, the only way was to reach peak of late-stage nascent soul step by step, and then try to break through to the soul formation stage. Ever since they started following Wang Lin, they felt extremely confident about reaching the soul formation stage. Although the two of them had lived longer than Li Muwen, it was not by much. If they couldn't reach the soul formation stage in 100 years, they would die. This was one of the main reasons why they were determined to follow Wang Lin. Just at this moment, a divine sense came from the room to the left. Lu Fei and Tai Yang suddenly opened their eyes. Lu Fei spread out his divine sense to slam into the incoming divine sense. A miserable scream came from the room to the left, and the divine sense quickly dissipated. Wang Lin didn't pay any attention to this at all. He continued to talk with Li Muwen. This was because he had barely ever spent any time with her. Even more so than tenderness, Wang Lin felt like he owed her too much. A divine sense came from the room to the left again, but this time it was multiple divine senses intertwined together. Tai Yang's eyes lit up, and along with Lu Fei, they both spread out their divine senses and slammed into the incoming divine sense. So bold. I want to see who dares to be this arrogant, a cold voice from the room to the left said. Lu Fei and Tai Yang's divine senses lost, but they weren't injured. Instead, they sneered. Sect Master, this person isn't a soul formation cultivator. He only has been in the late stage of nascent soul longer than the two of us. He must be at the peak of the late stage of nascent soul. The moment Lu Fei finished speaking, a person walked out of the room to the left. This person was wearing purple, and had a head of white hair. He made his way toward Wang Lin's room. He was very angry. Originally, his disciple was just curious, because he saw the treasure refining pavilions, Shuluo personally lead someone in and wanted to see who they were. However, he didn't expect that person to shatter his disciple's divine sense and injure him, so he angrily walked out. After arriving outside the room, the old man opened the curtain and looked inside. However, all he was met with Wang Lin's cold stare. The old man's eyes met Wang Lin's, and then he suddenly took several steps back. His forehead was covered in sweat, and his nascent soul was almost shattered. He immediately realized that the young man must have been a soul formation cultivator. The old man secretly complained. He didn't want to cause trouble with a soul formation cultivator. But he was too afraid to move. He could only let out a bitter smile and say, Junior didn't know that Senior was here. I was rash and hope Senior can forgive me. Wang Lin began to ponder. When he laid his eyes on this old man in purple, he felt a sense of familiarity. It must have been someone he knew. However, it had been too long, and he couldn't remember right away. At this moment, a laugh suddenly came from outside as the old man from the treasure refining pavilion walked up to the third floor. He didn't even look at the purple-robed old man when he arrived outside the door. With a smile on his face, he said, "I, cultivator who, heard that there was a fellow soul formation cultivator at the auction this time. I came to see, but I didn't expect to meet someone I knew." As he spoke, the curtain to the room opened on its own and the old man walked in. Lu Fei and Tai Yang's expressions changed. They quickly backed up and stood behind Wang Lin. "Sit." Wang Lin faintly smiled. The old man looked at Li Muwen and smiled. "Looks like fellow cultivator made it. I wonder how many flame threads you managed to obtain." Wang Lin was shocked. When they met back then, he was wearing the straw hat and didn't allow the old man to see his true identity. The old man must have had his own special method to be able to recognize Wang Lin at a glance. Wang Lin smiled and said, "The hole was too small, so I didn't get many." The old man nodded before saying, "I was also limited by the hole and didn't get many. However, when I went there a few years ago, I found an ancestral thread that had grown quite a bit." After he finished speaking, he looked toward Wang Lin. He was very wary of Wang Lin. If it wasn't for the fact he cultivated a secret technique that allowed him to identify someone by their physical body, he wouldn't have known that Wang Lin was that soul formation cultivator with the straw hat. At this moment, the purple-robed old man was in an awkward position. He didn't dare to leave, so he only stood there. While the white-haired old man and Wang Lin talked, the auction downstairs started. In the beginning, there were only some treasures and pills that were very popular. Li Muwen quietly sat beside Wang Lin. She would sometimes look down at the auction with a smile on her face. The old man's eyes lit up and he said, "Fellow cultivator, you look very familiar. Aside from that time outside the chaotic broken stars, we must have met before." When he first entered the room and recognized Wang Lin as the cultivator from outside the chaotic broken stars, he was confused. When he looked at Wang Lin, he felt a sense of familiarity, but no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't remember. This was very rare for a soul formation cultivator. The white-haired old man believed that if he had seen someone before, he wouldn't forget them. Wang Lin faintly smiled and didn't respond. He then waved at the purple-robed old man outside. The purple-robed old man secretly let out a sigh of relief. He walked up and said, "Junior Chiu Siping greets Senior." With that, he turned toward the white-haired old man and said the same thing. The white-haired old man gently replied, but he clearly revealed a hint of dissatisfaction when he did. He thought that it was fine if Wang Lin didn't want to answer his question, because they were both soul formation cultivators, but why call in this nascent soul junior? Wang Lin smiled. "Fellow cultivator Chiu, we haven't met in many years. I hope you are well." Chiu Siping was startled. Even the white-haired old man's eyes lit up as he looked toward Chiu Siping. Chiu Siping carefully looked at Wang Lin. The more he looked, the more familiar Wang Lin seemed, but he couldn't remember anything. He carefully asked, "Senior knows Junior?" Wang Lin smiled. "It has been a very long time. I'm afraid you have forgotten. If I hadn't heard your name, I would have forgotten too. Back then, we split the two nascent souls, one each, and also the map. Do you remember now?" Chiu Siping revealed a look of disbelief. He sucked in a breath of cold air and shouted, "Wang Lin. You reached the soul formation stage." Wang Lin nodded, then he looked at the white-haired old man and smiled. "Did fellow cultivator, who remember anything?" The white-haired old man's eyes were filled with disbelief. He looked at Wang Lin for a very long time, before letting out a wry smile. He said, "I remember. I can't believe the core formation cultivator from back then has reached the soul formation stage." He remembered now. Back then, he ran into Wang Lin and Chiu Siping, and was able to immediately notice a strange power within Wang Lin. It looked like the legendary G realm, so he became greedy. He wanted to accept Wang Lin as a disciple by force and see if he could extract the G realm. However, he never thought that after hundreds of years, that person would have reached the soul formation stage, the same cultivation level as him. The idea he had from back them immediately dissolved. Chiu Saiping was completely startled as he recalled memories of his past. Wang Lin was still ahead above him. During the core formation stage, he couldn't beat Wang Lin. After he reached the nascent soul stage, he still couldn't beat Wang Lin. Now he had reached the peak of the late stage of nascent soul, but when he saw Wang Lin again, Wang Lin had already reached the soul formation stage. The white-haired old man laughed and said, "I was reckless back then. I hope fellow cultivator Wang won't hold it against me." Then he suddenly changed the topic and asked, "I wonder what kind of treasure fellow cultivator Wang is here for?" Wang Lin smiled. "A rank 6 pill recipe." The old man revealed complex expression and said, "If it was anything else, I would be able to help you, but this rank 6 pill recipe is something someone else asked us to sell." Wang Lin shook his head. "No problem. If I can't win it, then I'll just steal it and make a copy." The white-haired old man laughed and then no longer spoke. The first floor had already sold a lot of pills and treasures. Shortly after, Shulua walked up on stage and shouted, "The next item is a very valuable treasure. I'm sure everyone here already knows that it is a rank 6 pill recipe. This recipe has never been opened since it arrived at our treasure refining pavilion. It still has the seal placed by the owner, as everyone can see. Rank 6 pills are things only Suzaku can produce, but you can too if you have the recipe. Everyone understands the value of the recipe, so I won't say more. There is also a change in the rules. Offers must be made with high-quality spirit stones, but we will take any treasures as well. My treasure refining pavilion will evaluate the price." All 3 floors immediately became silent. Many people had come for this recipe. Soon, people started shouting offers. Li Muwen was a bit nervous. Wang Lin gently patted her hand. His expression didn't change as he looked down at the first floor. Chiu Saiping revealed a bitter smile. He came this time for the pill recipe as well, and he was well prepared. However, he didn't dare to bid on it at all. Soon, the price was raised up to 10,000 high-quality spirit stones. This price could be considered a very big deal. This video will end here.